So Playa del Carmen is about 1 hour away from Cancun. It's within the Cancun area, and it's obviously a very popular destination spot for a number of tourists. A lot, coming from America, other parts, from South America, from Europe, etc. So I didn't know what to expect because I made a video about this. I went to Cancun a few years ago. It was just a resort. It was fun, but as mentioned, I'm not the biggest fan of resorts. So this time around, I didn't stay at a resort. It was actually in the downtown area near Fifth Avenue in Playa. And I can tell you guys that it was a very, very, awesome time. I can't say enough about it. It was kind of funny too because right now it's relatively open. So you actually see a lot of tours from, America, Europe, South America. Talking to a lot of people there, they mentioned that they've been living there. They've been working remotely there because of, wherever they came from is, still on lockdown, restricted. Playa, Mexico as a whole is still relatively open, so that's why they went there. But overall, it's a fun environment. Obviously, you have the beaches. Every night, there's always something going on. Bunch of restaurants, a bunch of bars, some nightclubs. When you're walking down, people are always trying to sell you stuff. That was kind of funny at first, towards the end I kind of got sick of it and tired of it. Literally, when you're walking down Fifth Avenue, from all directions, people are, trying to sell you something, especially if you definitely look like a tourist like I do. There's always something going on. So overall, it was actually my first time, experiencing the Mexican culture. Even though Playa is very touristy, still, it was something that you get to embrace the culture. Unlike, as mentioned, in Cancun, you're just on a resort the whole time, so obviously you're kind of like in a bubble. But there, it was kind of like, all right, I'm actually in Mexico now. So overall, it's a great time. I would recommend staying on Fifth Avenue. That's where all the action happens. That's where literally you can, eat, have a drink, do some activities. You're right by the beach. The only caveat though is that it is super hot. It was in April and it was like 90 degrees every day, so I can only imagine what it's like during the summer. But literally it's that humidity, so like after a few minutes of just walking out in the sun, you're already kind of sweating, and about after a half an hour, you're pretty much like super tired. So you have to kind of watch out for that in terms of kind of like planning your day out. Especially if you're just walking around, you're not going to the ocean, to the pool or going out to the beach or anything. But Playa, I can't say enough about it. I had a really good time. I spent about a couple weeks there. 1 week just, vacationing, having fun. The other week I was actually working remotely. So during the day, which actually worked out quite nice, during the day I would actually work, and then after work it would actually be a little bit cooler because it's in the evening, so that was actually a better time of going out. That's actually the time I would recommend, between like after 4 or 5 o'clock when the sun goes down a little bit. That's the best time to be out. But that noon to like 3:30 when the sun is directly out, over you, that's like for me, I did stick it out a few times, but it does get a little bit overwhelming where you just need to be inside. It's just too hot. Another good place about Playa is if you like to work out. There's a very good gym called Evolve. Quite a little bit expensive depending on the type of membership that you would get. So for example, since I was there like on a weekly basis, 1 week was about $40 US. But I think if you get like a month membership, it's a little bit cheaper. But I think that's the best gym to go to. It's a pretty big gym and there's a lot of people in there. So it has everything that you need, and it's right on Fifth Avenue too, so it's walking distance. In terms of dating, I'm going to make another video about this, but there's, great opportunity for you to go out, meet some girls either from Mexico or from other parts of the country, and from other countries as well. And it's relatively easy to kind of like open up because Playa is a, tourist holiday destination. So a lot of people are going to be there just on holiday and they're looking to have a good time. And you also, have a chance to meet a lot of locals who actually live there and work there as well. So again, I'm going to make a more specific video about it, but Playa is a fantastic place to, date, approach girls, have a great time, etc. And then, as mentioned, it's just overall a fun environment. There's always something going on, Sunday through Saturday, depending on what you like to do. But you can go to the beach. You can go to a club. I'm not too much into clubs, but you can go to a rooftop bar, restaurants. All different types of food is around you. Mexico is relatively cheap, especially if you're exchanging dollar. Obviously, on Fifth Avenue, they can mark up the prices a little bit because of the tourists. But even outside of that, I found a few good like hidden taco places where it's dirt cheap, and it's a great place to go to at night, especially if you've been drinking and you're hungry. You can just go there, get some really cheap tacos, but they're really good tacos or quesadillas. I found myself eating, quite a bit of those. And again, in Mexico, at least when you're exchanging a dollar, it's pretty cheap. So in terms of getting, a good bang for your buck in terms of food, drinks, can't find a better place than that. So overall, I recommend Playa. There is Tulum, which is again an hour away from Cancun, and I believe it's also an hour away from Playa if you take either a taxi or a bus. That's probably going to be the next destination I go to Mexico. Maybe later in the year, who knows? I'll let you guys know. But in terms of Playa, I definitely recommend it, especially now if your area is still in lockdown, or there's still a bunch of restrictions in place, or it's just your area, people are not going out, etc., and you want to go to an environment where it feels somewhat normal. I recommend Playa. A bunch of tourists. It's kind of like a hidden gem. So a lot of people have been finding out about it and have been going there. So it's like overcrowded with people, but in a good way because it made you feel like you're part of. It made life feel normal again. So you're kind of like walking on the street. Everybody's just having a great time, and it's just like I mentioned. If you're able to deal with the heat. I'm probably making too much of a big deal about it, but for me, I just don't like the humidity. I don't want to sweat 5 minutes after I leave the house. But other than that, though, it's great weather. People are very nice there, super friendly people. It's pretty safe. Obviously, being in Mexico and anywhere else in the world, you still have to kind of like watch out at night, make sure you don't, put yourself in a dangerous situation or you're not walking alone in an area that you don't know at 4 a.m. in the morning. But it's a relatively safe area. People are there to have a good time, so you're going to meet a lot of people from different parts of Mexico and other parts of the world, and it's just a fun environment. Anytime you go to one of these like kind of beach cities, tourist type holiday destinations, you're going to find a lot of cool activities to do. So it's like, unless you just stay in your Airbnb or your hotel, you cannot not have a good time. You're going to find something to do. So I recommend it, and again, it's pretty cheap, especially the accommodations, the food this time around because of the situation. You'll probably find a good deal. So try to take advantage of it that you can. So I recommend it. You won't be disappointed. I had a fantastic time, and I'm definitely going to visit back in the future. It exceeded my expectations. I heard good things about Playa. But until you go out and see it for yourself, you won't realize just how much of a fun place it is. And that now I can see why people rave about it and people, keep going back there. There was one place called Cozumel, which is an island by Playa. You have to take a boat ferry. It takes like 40 minutes. I didn't get a chance to go, but that's another area where people say is a good time. So again, that's kind of for future, that along with Tulum. There's so many places in Mexico to go to, so many of these kind of beach type holiday destinations. So that's why I kind of focused on Playa, but these are others to look out for in the future. So again, just shows you how much there are and why a lot of people go to Mexico, especially from the US for holiday, because it's easy to get to. And again, it's pretty cheap compared to a lot of other destinations from around the world if you're using the dollar. So guys, with that, I hope this was a little bit insightful. I'm going to be making a few more videos of the other places I visited in Mexico, but this video was just focused on Playa. I'll make a few more specific videos. This is just like overall general theme about it. I can't stress enough, I'm inserting a few photos, but those don't do it justice. You need to go out there and experience it for yourself. So guys, with that, thank you so much for watching the video. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or if you visited Playa. If you recommended it, if you liked it, if you didn't, whatever the case may be. But again, everyone, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.